All right, let's get into the Tomahawk missiles, because the high-stakes meeting with Trump and Putin was on 8/15, and that was the 111th/100th day of Melania being 55. All right, so this 55 marker takes us to 1955, Back to the Future sequence, because Trump is an 88 time machine in one fashion, and we're in that Make America Great Again time frame. This is where ICE is there coming for the cleansing, but people's hearts are growing cold and all those other things we've covered in the past. But as this high stakes meeting and that Israel, that guerrilla warfare, and that Sigourney Weaver and that web on the Weaver is being placed, as the ears and such should be dinging as the peace deal's made while DC's dark. And that's just an easy one, okay? But Adoniah with the AI at the end and such, that means the Lord. And basically, this rib eye, the great T-rib, for the shortening of days for the Great Tribulation and such, but this searing and putting on the grill and such is where the people lined up for that rib bon nuke acid for that crap sure that's coming for part of your rapture, as the dark sun rises and the Anus, as the butler and baker come together, okay? And these little desserts, that little port wine for that Portland, that dine on the throne, all right? And that fecal matter, it matters. So that crop dusting is coming in for some agriculture. And that culture has grown dark. Okay, we got that little petri dish, that petro dish, the petrochemicals, the artificials. Are you artificial? The us and our. The AR official. All this shit's all going together. I would expect your guns, cannabis, all these sins that have been made carnally into spiritual, whatever that's controlling the people, brought into crypto first in a way, and you're all going to be taxed, and all this little structure that we're under, the taxes, all this, like the next whatever years, but tax structure, that waiting in line, that pedo, that natto. I don't want to take the wait. I'd rather just pay the fee or whatever kind of thing. Go by pounds, I can't afford it. Anyway, this is where like the king size, the cash is king, all that shit's all coming in to a little wrap up. Either way, it's all done. And then the ribbon, nucleic acid, that missile, it could get to where they can do flip-flop, where the people who took the thing, it may get to where it gets so into that, bring it all into one thing. That's where you get the COVID and the booster, and then the flu. One flew over the cuckoo's nest, and all that kind of shit going together. Either way, the thing that was taken, and then the H1N1 that set it up. So you have the first one, and then this one, and then that one. So the little trifecta. Either way, so it doesn't matter. The ones that took this thing, the RNA, self-replicating ribbon nucleic acid, it can get to where they don't work or they work, and then the ones who don't work, or however it can work, okay? So however it works, the first ones out would be the ones getting the socialism and all those other kinds of things. And then that's where you have just that dark sun that starts coming out that way, and then it rises up through here, and all these other things going on as it's already been done. And as it's been done, the dawn is coming in and hatching those lights. And as that dragon has been shown, been flying over the world, it's coming into nest. As it comes into the nest, it hatches the eggs of the snake that's been here, the serpent, and then the serpent this year hatches, and that's tied to your Jesus. And Jesus comes in to the garden. The serpent comes into the garden, and he allows Adam and Eve to see again. And this is what Jesus is talking to the church about. You're blind and you're deafened. And it tells you in Revelation that you're taken back into the church of Amen. And that's the worship of Amen-Ra, the sun god. And that's in the garden and in these bounds, and Adam and the Eve, the left and the right. And knowing that the serpent said, hey, if you eat this, you're going to see and become as God. And that's what Jesus said. You eat from the tree of life, you're going to know that you are the Son of God. And that day you shall not ask. And that day you shall not pray, because you shall know. And that's exactly what we see in the Garden of Eden at the first. And the Lord God came in after God rested. And Satan and the Lord come in to number the people. The numb ear, the deafening. And this is where you have the garden being rounded up now. As the Jesus, the truth, and that guerrilla warfare starts playing in that La La Land. And that Halloween is before you as the wolves are around gathering the sheep. The stage is set. The people have already went into the host Patel with the Abaddon opening the pit, and the Abaddon opening the pit. And then you had Obama, who brought the free hell care with the moon Biden, and the moon Biden has risen upon you, and now you're on the dark side of the moon. And that Kamala, whatever you want to call her, it's there to ring bells, as that no bells has gone off. Do you know the bells? When you hear the bells, the angel gets its wings, and that one door full life, and that one door full, they've taken the key from you, so you cannot see and hear, because they've taken the key of tree of knowledge of good and evil, that naughty and nice, and your self-righteousness has lifted you up. So those filthy rags you've become, that Washington, that Tin Man, that water is all about to be dumped out, that petro water, that dark water. Trump's little vagina neck, the fat upper neck, that's his head being pushed out for the birth. Body comes next. The data catches it. The data, the DATA, all these things are going together as you're seeing a build on one side, and it's going to break out on the other as these forces come to work. Okay, the carnal controlling the spiritual, and the spiritual controlling the carnal, and Mother Earth always wins. And this kind of projection that we live in, as like Hillary said, the glass ceilings cracked and whatever, as man, the light inside, as God outside put himself in this projection, he figures out a way to break out. As he can figure out a way to break out, the light comes back in to keep him in. As these things happen within time, we progress and transform this earth into the next age. And this is where we see 3i Atlas coming in, these things coming within from out there, but we also need to understand it's from within us. And there's so-called mothership in the ocean, there's mothership in the earth, and all these things will come together to reset the time, age, what we see and whatever else, because we can drive around the mountains and think about the things we have today in our world and the things we see in our world, whether we've been exposed to them in physical reality or through the tele-vision and eat phone home, and that eat phone home is all together in one little thing. So this is where it's all coming to shake the foundations of the earth and change the consciousness of man and propel us forward. And that consciousness of man has already been before us, is at 45 for that 9 and Trump and stuff. But and then the 999 connects you to the flip on the 666, and those are the keys to heaven and hell. And this is where those who hold the testimony of Jesus Christ, who are marked by the buy and sell, the saving and such, they are gathering up. And that's where you see this Christian nation and nationalism, all this stuff is all coming into a little peak. As it does this, it's going to break out of that kind of thing. But, and then like Hollywood created the cowboy that we see today, basically. So that's kind of where this projection is creating this beast, this cowboy, right? This oxen. And this oxen is the crowning of the X-Man of Elon Musk and the 3 musketeers. And the musketeer has the trigger for these people, and these people have already taken the trigger as that army has gathered and taken the Lord's name in vain, because the Lord God is the Son in Psalm 84:11, and that's where it takes you back into Eden and the almond that Jesus told you to come out of, and all those things that we're going into, and that takes you back to the Egyptian worship, and the Egyptian is the Israel, and that's where you see the aliens and the pyramids, all those stories coming together as your God, your Jesus, all those things coming on the spectrum, but it's being laid out through man, because we are the lampstands. We are the ones that connect the foundation of earth to the light. Okay, so that's where these lights are being changed as the Father and the Mother, Father Time and Mother Earth, are coming and pushing out a new heaven and earth. Okay, so we're going to end it here. That ribonucleic acid is going to be shaken soon enough. And those China plates, Trump's got his old turkey gobbler. That's the old Indians and those pilgrims. Ah, shit. My doctor wasn't helping me. It wasn't health care, it was hell care. Ah, son of a bitch. The serpent's on the damn thing. They're taking my wings. I need to get my wings back. Well, I didn't hear a bell. Or did I hear a bell? How do I spell no? What do I know? It's turkey season. You got your butterball turkey serving up. And then we're showing some fucking foam on some video, how they take out the whole flock. They just, or some of them get gassed, but this was a sudsy foam. And the sudden Biden destruction. Either way, these trucks are run by no one who speaks English. The diesel full. The diesel for the big light and the camping.